Hello and welcome back. It's puzzle time with Sudoku Sleuth, and today we're going to be playing Echo Through the Fog. I know I'm misspelled through there, it's just shorthand to try and fit it in the thumbnail without making it really tiny in terms of font size. Now, like when I read this title, how would I describe this? So you're probably aware that I tend to play a lot of music on essentially virtual instruments, and I've seen so many videos of these things and how they're recorded, and sometimes I've seen them record them in these vast tunnels to try and increase the reverb and the type of sound and give you something new and unique. So when I read Echo Through the Fog, I really couldn't help it, but I just kept thinking of Tokyo's huge underground drainage system. So Tokyo used to suffer famously from a lot of flooding, and to prevent this, they essentially dug this massive underground series of tunnels. Tunnels is really a bad term for caverns, more likely, where essentially they're, unsurprisingly, used to drain water and actually prevent flooding. Equally, I can imagine that there's going to be a lot of echoes that, echo throughout that entire huge tunnel system, as well as I'm sure a few fog as well. So that's my best attempt at this thumbnail. You've got Sleuth there exploring the system. The tunnel is ever so slightly foggy and it echoes, not surprisingly. Lengthy intro. Anything to say before I take a look at the puzzle? So this particular puzzle, I'm going to put it up now, and the rule set, it seems to be like almost following a pattern we've seen recently. Emphasis very much on there is one and only one grey palindrome line. We've played a few of these. Sometimes it's a German whisper line, now it's a palindrome. Let me walk you through the rule set. So normal Sudoku rules apply. That means place the digits 1 to 9 once each in every row, column, and 3 by 3 boxes. Then we have the grey palindrome. So there is one and only one grey palindrome line which reads the same forwards or backwards. So that means, despite the fact that this palindrome, or this tunnel system, disappears off into the fog, we know that these two cells are essentially the two ends of this palindrome line, and therefore they have to be the same value. So if this cell here is a 2, for example, this cell here would have to be a 2, and so on and so forth. This would be, this is 3, this would be 3, continue. Digits in cages do not repeat and must sum up to the clue in the top left. So we know that if this was a 2, this would have to be 6 to make sure that it does add up to 8. If this was a 6, for example, this would have to be an 8 to make sure it adds up to 14. We have white dot cells indicating cell values with consecutive, indicating cells with consecutive values. So if this one was a 2, this would be 1 or 3 to make sure that they are indeed consecutive. Don't know which one it is, of course. Not all dots are given, so this 2 could have a 3 in here and a 1 there. That's fine. The absence of a white dot does not stop you from having consecutive digits next to one another. Last but not least, probably I'm going to say a channel favorite or a channel fan favorite is the fog. So the grid is partially covered with fog. I'm going to say obvious. Correctly placed digits will clear the fog around that cell. So if that was indeed a 2, then essentially all of the fog surrounding that cell will be revealed, and hopefully allowing us to make a bit more progress. So, only thing left to say is, you probably already know what to do after all my examples. I really try to avoid explaining what the obvious digit is, but nevertheless, link is in the description down below for you to play on your own. And with that said, I'm going to restart the clock and see how I get on. Let me just take a note of the time and then get started. Right. So, these two cells I said are the same. There are only two ways of making 14. One is essentially 6, 8. The other one is 5, 9. Now, because this cell is in here inside the 8, I know that it can only be the 5 or 6 because the 8 or 9 is not going to sit inside an 8 cage. That's larger than one cell. So this is 5 or 6 as well, and therefore to make sure that it does add up to 8, this will be 2 or 3, 2 with a 6, 3 with a 5. Over here, this will be 8 or 9. That makes this cell 8 or 9. Now the white Kropkidos tells us that there is a digit, one digit, that's separating these two. I don't know about you, but the only way I can see I could do this would be 8, 7, 6. All the other digits just simply will not work. 6, 6. Therefore, this is an 8, this is a 6, this is a 2 to add up to 8, and we're off and running. Right, not a 2, 3, 5 cage. This is a 1, 4 cage. So 1, 4, and this would be 1, 4. No, 2. Excuse me. This would be 1, 4. Can't have a 4 inside an 8 cage. Wake up, Sleuth. That's a 1. That's a 7. Therefore, this is a 1. This is a 4. Inside a 6 cage, it'll be the same as this cell. Two ways of doing 6 in 2 cells is either 2, 4 or 1, 5. Now, the trouble is this cell can actually see 1, 2, and 4. So this cell clearly has to be a 5. And therefore, this has to be a 1. At 12 cage now, these two cells have to be the same. You can see that it is not a 5, 7, 12 gauge. There's 3 ways of doing it in 2 cells. 5, 7, which is not. 8, 4, which it may be. I mean, I could do 4 and 8 this way around. And 3 and 9 would also work. So that makes us 3, 4, 9 over here. 3 doesn't have 2 or 4 as neighbors. 4 doesn't have 5. Oh, it could be 3. That does work, actually. And this could be 8. So there are really 2 possibilities. Am I being... The 4 could be 3. That would make this 4. That would make this 8. That looks fine to me. Is that not the next step? So the 3 is no, because 2 and 4 are not available. So 3 is gone, which makes 9 in here gone. So that's 3, 8. Interesting. I was kind of really hoping it will resolve. Unless I'm just, again, missing something. I don't think I am. Let's complete this box. This 5, this has to be a 5. These 2 cells have to be 3 and 9. That's what I was missing, a bit of Sudoku as always. That's 8, that's 9. Therefore, this is 9, this is 3, and we're continuing. This is going to be 7, I'm going to say. 8 to 7, they're all done in here. Maybe I should do a bit more Sudoku to avoid, similar daftness. So this is not a 5, 7. It's also not a 3, 9, because this cell cannot be 3 or 9. So this is definitely 4, 8. Not sure why that's helpful, but this 11 cage is not 2, 9. It's not 3, 8. Could it be 4, 7? 7 would have to be here. This would be the 4. Could this be a 4? Looks possible to me. No, it isn't, because 3 and 5, because of this white Kropki dot, is not available. So 4, 7 is not available. That leaves me with only 5, 6. I can see that this 5 tells me it's got to be a 6. It's got to be a 6. It's got to be a 5. This cell here is not 5 on the white Kropki dot. It's got to be a 7. And we keep on going. Is that 4, 8 resolved? No, it isn't. 1, you could see, has got to be in here. Shall we think about this cell next? And this cell? So what are the possibilities? Ones, sorry, meant to use lower ones. 1, not 2. 3, 4. Clearly not 5, not 6, not 7, not 8, not 9. So it's not many possibilities, but a lot more than I was hoping. We should do some Sudoku. We should definitely do some Sudoku. Right, what is the rest of this row? I need 2, 3, 4, and 9. I see not very much preventing it from being any of the above. Okay, Sudoku wasn't very helpful. So down here is certainly, 6 1s. They're definitely down here. Clearly, this is not a 6 for whatever the reasons are. And take a look at this. So let's continue this palindrome line. So this cell is clearly the same as this cell. This cell would be the same as that one. It's disappearing off into the fog, but it's clearly going directly down as opposed to horizontally or diagonally or whatever else it may be. So these two cells are the same, and they clearly cannot be a 6. So the only place I can do a 6 in here with these 6s set up is down there. That clears things up a bit. Let's just pencil mark now. So we need 1, 3, 4, and 5. You can see I was about to do something ridiculous here. So this is not the 1. So this is 3, 4, 5. This is not 3, 5, or 1, in fact. That's just straight up 4. 8, 4. This is 1, 3, 5 now. That is not a 4. That means that's not a 4 either. And this is 1, 3, 5. Right. This 8 gives me a 1, 8 pair in here. And allows me to place a digit, which is a 2, in here. What more can I see? Can't really see the rest of this palindrome, so really on this side. So I'm not sure I can continue much further with the palindrome tricks. It's probably got to be Sudoku that's next. Such as, where does 6 go in this row? Well, it's not in these two cells. That's 6. Therefore, this is 3 and something. 3 and 7. In fact, that 7 gives me an order. That's got to be the 3. That's got to be the 7. And therefore, this has to be a 1. It's not a 3. 1, 1. Still leaves me with a 3, 5 pair. So, hang on. 3 gives me 5, 5, 3. That 1 gives me 8 and 1. And we're back on track. I'm sure you can tidy up with a bit of Sudoku, a lot of these cells, but I'm just enjoying this palindrome train here. Palindrome, train, tunnel. Could be many things. These are not 1, 2 possible, 3 not, 4 looks possible, 5, 6, 7 not possible, 8 and 9 seem possible. That's unexpected. This cell here is the same as this cell here. It's not 1, could be 2, could even be 3, not 4, not 5, not 6. Could be 7, but I don't think 7 would work, actually. And not 8 or 9, as you can see this. Right, so this Kropki dot, can it help me? If it's a 2, this would be 3. That looks fine to me. If it's 3, it could be 2 or 4. Still fine. And if it's a 7, it's not 8, it's a 6. That wasn't useful at all. Okay. 8s, they're not in here, and that's the only place for an 8. These two cells are, so I just kind of moved on from that since it wasn't very useful, and just, we'll do a bit of Sudoku after all. These two cells are, well, 7, can't be this cell, that's the 7, and this cell is on the palindrome. 1, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4. Is that correct? These have to be 2s. It looks it. Meaning you can really see the outline at this point of this palindrome, and it really does look like these two cells are the same. Just in case they're not, just going to double check if there is anything more obvious. We've got 3, 9, and 5. So 3, 5, 9 in here. This is not a 5. Everything else seems possible. Gives me a 3, 9 pair in here. This cell could be interesting. It's not 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It could be 6, 7, not 8, and not 9. So it's only 6 or 7. And this cell definitely is here. You can see that kind of outline going up diagonally. So this is 6 or 7. And it's not 7, it is a 6. Right. Which means this is not 6, this is not 7, this is 2, 3, 4. Means there's definitely a 3 in here. And pretty sure that, yeah, that means that this is 3, 9. Can't be a 3, 9 because we need a 3 connecting these. It's got to be a 9. and therefore no 9s in here. Gives me a 3, gives me a 9. And this is therefore definitely a 2 and definitely a 4, not a 4. Right. Hang on, that 5, yeah, done. That 4, let me just make sure that I have used the palindrome as much as I can. And I think what I'm going to do, just in case, is make sure that I color them so I don't forget about them. I don't know if I can resolve them right now, but I'm willing to sort of look around. Just I need to remember not to forget about them. Right, 1s you can see can only be in here in box 9 because of this one. It's eliminating all the other cells. So with these ones in box 8, that's the only place for it that's left. So that's a 1. In here we have another 2, 3, 5 and a 9. Sadly, that 9 and 2, 3, 5 could be anywhere. This side I have another 3, 5, an 8 and a 4. And again, they could be anywhere. Interesting. So 2, 8 and 9. So there's 2, 8 again. What about 9 and 4? Yeah, I don't know. There's a 4, 9 up here. There's a loose 4, 9 down there. These two cells, I need to have a 5. That is not the 5. That's the 5. This is another 4, 9. There's another 4, 9 in here, and then 6 and 1. No, I don't know where the 1 is. 6 is definitely in here. And then I have 4 or 9 as well. So this is 1 or 4, and this is 1 or 9 because of this 4 and this 9. 9s, could this be a 9? Yeah, that looks fine. Right, what else do we have in the rest of this? We need 3, 9. No, hang on. We need another 4, 9. We need 3 and 2. And again, they're not really... Oh, hang on. And the 3s are lining up. So no 3s. That's a 3. Hasn't exactly helped me with my 2, 4, 9, really. So that's 2, 4, 2, 9. Again, because of this 9 and this 4. This gives me a triplet. I don't know if that's the intended solution path with a 2, 3, 4. That gives me a definite 7. Right, 2, 3. So 1, 2, 8, 9 is all we have in here. This is not a 9. I don't know why I didn't see this earlier. Not a problem. Means the 9 is definitely up here, which kind of knew. So this is 1, 2, 8, 9. And this is 1, 2, 8. Not helpful. Have I got everything? 2, 3, 4, 1, 8. Yeah, sadly. This is 1 or 4. Blues, nothing? Nothing. Right. Oh, hang on. Between the 1 and 5, what is it? It's a 4. That's probably what I was missing. 2. So this is 3 or 8 to complete the row. 8, not 7. Let's not confuse things. That 4 does give me a 9 and a 4. And yeah, that finally moves me along. So it's just missing things. 2, 3. And therefore this is not a 3. That's an 8. This is 1, 4. It's a 1. It's a 4. This is an 8. Does that 2, 3 get resolved? Not yet to see. Oh, no, hang on. That 8 gives me 3, gives me 2, gives me 2, gives me 3. That 3 gives me 5 and 3, and that's the palindrome entirely done. 2s now. Yeah, that's a 2. 3 is not in here. It's not there. 3, 4, 5, 6. This is the 7. This is the 9. In here, I need a 9, which can only be in this side because of this 9, this 9. This is a 4. I have 1, 2, 3, 4. I need 5, 8, and 9. That is the... No, 5, 7, and 8. Excuse me. That's the 5. That's the 7. And if I've not made any mistakes, that's the 8 for the finish for today's puzzle. It's a lovely puzzle once again from you, Megan. And I really, really do seem to enjoy... There is one and only one line. And yeah, interesting as well that, I mean, last time I missed the orthogonal limit, but this time we do actually have diagonals allowed, which has made it a lot more interesting. Hope that you guys enjoyed the puzzle in the video. Another fantastic one from Megan, and another fog puzzle for you guys. See you back for the next video. Bye-bye for now.